It takes strong, effective leaders to change the culture of an organization and achieve important results. For 20 years, the Annie E. Casey Foundation has used results-based leadership development to help leaders in the social and public sectors achieve better outcomes for children and families. Effective leaders are constantly aware of the need to maintain their composure and preserve working relationships when engaging with direct reports, managers, board members, peers, media, constituents, stakeholders, and others. One tool for effective leaders is the consultative stance. This method of thinking and responding helps leaders pivot from responding defensively to a more productive, collaborative way of reacting. The consultative stance allows you to engage a partner or colleague while holding your own agenda and immediate reactions in the background. It requires personal insight into your own feelings and using powers of observation, deep listening, and effective questioning skills to find common ground for moving forward. It requires that you pause before responding, consider what you're feeling, and make a conscious decision about a response that will keep the conversation open rather than close it down. Kathy Pogue White, a member of the Leadership Development faculty at the Foundation, explains.
The consultative stance is a reflective practice that leaders can use in order to help themselves during those times when they're under assault from all the ways in which people don't want to change or don't want to do the hard work that's in front of them. And the ways in which people get triggered into losing their consultative stance, stuff that happens to us all the time, right? The boss is not appreciative. The team is being passive-aggressive. The project itself has too many flaws in it. The budget isn't working. All of those ways of experiencing your work can make you anxious, can throw you off of your collaborative game.
Here are some examples of how you can take a consultative stance under pressure. When someone says, "Let me show you where you are wrong," you might feel, "No, I'm right, and you shouldn't be challenging me." You might be tempted to snap back with, "I'm in charge, I'll decide," or "I've already made my decision." But using a consultative stance, you could say instead, "I'd like to hear what you have to say. Perhaps our ideas connect in this way." When someone appears to avoid a sensitive subject, your first reaction might be to avoid it along with them, but that might cause you to miss an important issue. Using a consultative stance, you could say, "I noticed that we've gone on to another matter since that difficult subject came up. It would be helpful to me if we could explore it a bit more." When working with someone on your team, what's the best way to establish the consultative stance?
A leader has to set it up as a two-way street of communication. We each bring something to this relationship, and usually it's perfectly fine. We do our work. Sometimes issues come up, difficulties occur, and we need to be able to examine those difficulties, take them on as places to learn, so that we keep on track in terms of the work that we're doing. So it's a process that has to be learned, and one way to make that happen, right, is to routinely include these kinds of conversations at the end of other meetings or incorporated into other agendas that you have. And I would say at least once a week until everyone gets it as a matter of fact that this conversation occurs.
The consultative stance requires creating a reflective space. The reflective space can be a pause in the moment of a hard conversation or time when reflecting on several interactions. Why is this important?
A reflective space is the time you give yourself to take in all of the data that you've been receiving during the day, during the week. And this data really is feedback to you on how you're impacting other people. It's a gift. So when you have the opportunity to sit down at coffee or whatever in the evening before sleep, you want to go through those bits of data. You want to see if you can find patterns. And what you're looking for is, am I being the leader that I think I'm being? Or am I getting other information? Now, the importance of asking yourself that question is that you get a chance to course correct so that you can be the kind of leader that you want to be.
When it comes to managing yourself, what's a simple way to practice the consultative stance?
My favorite way is a simple way, which is to pause a minute, take a deep breath, and think of something that would be helpful to say, like, tell me more about it, or help me see it, or I'm not understanding, maybe you could fill it out for me. That is, to stay curious in the moment about what else might be occurring beside your reactivity. When you're really skilled at this, it will be automatic. You won't have to pause and breathe, and it will automatically kick in that something is occurring, you're feeling triggered, and you need to come up with a way that makes you and the other person keep working together, keep doing the work that you want to be doing together.
What are the key takeaways from the consultative stance? Every person can be triggered, but preparation can help you move from a reactive stance to a consultative one. Resist the temptation to instruct or defend. Instead, honestly explore the barriers that get in the way of achieving results. Awareness and preparation are essential for effective leadership role management. Document and study what happened when you successfully pivot to a consultative stance. Use these strategies until they become automatic. Learn more about the consultative stance and other tools for results-based leadership at aecf.org.